Well, all right, let's talk about the weird Bo Nix game where the Denver Broncos, coming off of an awful offensive performance against the Jets last week, have to fly from London, get all the way to Denver to play this game, so a lot of travel involved. Their offense did not score points for 3 quarters and then scored 33 in the fourth. Let's talk about what happened. Starting off with this play, 3rd down and 6, man coverage across the board for the Giants. You see Bo Nix takes a snap, and this pass is just going to get deflected. It felt like just a lot of little things going wrong for Denver Broncos. And in fact, a lot of the issues were things that I had brought up last week of the Denver Broncos kind of getting in their own way. This play is going to be an example of that, where it's a 1st down and 10 right here. So, okay, let's try and just gain some yards on this play, get the ball moving. Instead, you're going to see it's a high snap, and then Bo Nix flips it, but it's a bit of a low throw. Also, still could have been caught, but it was dropped. So that's 3 different players making bad mistakes there. It's a bad snap, Bo Nix isn't making a great throw, and it still could have been caught. So it's just, again, beating themselves, which is what we saw a lot. This play, which is a handoff that goes horribly wrong. Now, Bo Nix does a good job of falling on it. We saw the Commanders last week weren't so lucky with that, but ultimately, it's still a bad play. In fact, even special teams, the rare special teams play is going to get shown on this channel. You see, it's just a kickoff right here. You have the kick returner going to field it, and watch as he ends up catching it and running out of bounds. He must have just lost where he was on the field, but you let that go, it's either going to bounce out of bounds and then you get the ball at the 40, or maybe it keeps going and bounces into the end zone, but then you still get the ball at the 30, or actually that would be at the 20 at that point. So I guess I understand the logic to some degree, but if you're going to catch it, you have to make sure that you can catch it in bounds. That's the issue. So even if you're worried it's going to be at a touchback, which I don't think you should be worried about in that situation, 20 is still much better than where you ended up with the ball. Also, it's worth mentioning, going over here, while they didn't score, they did come close and honestly gave up the opportunity to score. They could have kicked the field goal, gotten 3 here, but on a 4th and goal at the 2, they decide to be aggressive, going to run a screen pass. You can see how this could work if both of those 2 players make their blocks, and actually they're going to. But watch the safety for the Giants. Really comes in quickly. It was a bit of a slow developing screen pass, though. You want to get that ball out a little bit quicker. I don't really know why. It seemed like he mixed, turned, and got the ball there quickly, but just whole process went a little bit slower than you would like, and because of that, it ends up being a turnover on downs instead of a potential touchdown. Also, some drops in the mix here. You see this one a bit underneath on a 3rd and 11. Wouldn't have been a 1st down, but still gains you some yards. This one would have been a 1st down on 1st down. Nix throws it down the field. Really nice throw. Good defensive play to knock it out at the end there, but again, good play by Nix, ultimately not able to convert. These are plays that you want to see your offense convert if you're a Broncos fan. Also, this play. So it's going to be a designed rollout away from where the play action is going to be. That's the way this play is designed to work for the Broncos. Nix takes a snap. Nothing really seems to be open down the field, which is okay. It's 1st down. It's not the end of the world. But here's where sometimes you got to make sure that you don't let a bad play become a disaster. And that's what's going to end up happening here. Watch Nix just hang on to the ball. Brian Burns, who is the defensive lineman who was in coverage there, knows how to make a play like this. He did a great job of getting there. But ultimately, that's just an example of now it's 2nd and 18. They weren't able to recover from that and had to punt. If it was 2nd and 10, they might have had a better chance. So, okay, over here, it's 19-0, 2nd and goal. They finally get the ball down the field, and what do? Well, they need a play to work, so they decide to go with the old reliable play. Bo Nix takes a snap, and you're going to see they're going to run the old bounce one off of one teammate onto another teammate for a touchdown. Classic play, just how they drew it up and get the touchdown. Hey, it's kind of what got the floodgates going, though, right? Even if it was a bit of a fluky play, it gets everyone settled in, and really from this point on, they were off. We saw something like this where it's going to be a Bo Nix, it's a designed keeper where he fakes as though he's handing the ball off, going towards the top of the screen. And really what we saw from the Broncos after that play was they just stopped being stupid. They just stopped making dumb mistakes and started executing their plays properly. Nix takes the snap, and you're going to see it's Kayvon Thibodeau who is, he doesn't know who has the ball, right? So he has to pay attention to, his job. Your job is you have to make sure the quarterback does not keep it himself, but Nix doesn't keep it too often, so I think Thibodeau isn't fully aware of this play potentially happening. When Nix keeps it himself, he does get past Thibodeau, able to rush into the end zone for a touchdown, and again, that made it a 2-score game, and then you had a Jackson Dart bad interception to give you the ball right back into enemy territory. So then they have this play dialed up, just a play action rollout towards the top of the screen. Nix takes a snap, and it's actually going to be the running back that appears to be the most open right here. So okay, this can work, but obviously you have pressure that you have to deal with. So this is not an easy throw at all for Nix to make. It's actually one of his more difficult throws of the game. But watch as off balance he hits RJ Harvey, who makes the catch, and now all of a sudden they make the extra point, and they're down just 3 points. So in a game that was kind of a disaster, it ends up being something they're very much in. And heading over here, this was in many ways the play of the game. So it's a 3rd down and 11 situation. Marvin Mims just running down the field, one-on-one matchup. In a 3rd and 11, it's 2 minutes 14 seconds left. Make no mistake, if the Broncos do not convert on one of these next 2 plays, they lose the football game. They need to convert on one of these plays. Nix takes the snap. Is this open? No. But hey, Marvin Mims, he can make some tough catches. Remember, he made the Hail Mary type play against the Cincinnati Bengals last year. He can make a contested catch in a big moment if you need him to. Bo Nix is going to fire one up, and look at Marvin Mims make the play and gets in field goal range. Although heading over here, of course, they don't want just a field goal. They want more than that. It's going to be a designed Bo Nix run once again. You see that he's going to take the snap since they don't have to waste a player to just hand the ball off, a blocker for everyone, and you see he's looking down the field. You see how well blocked this is, right? Watch as Nix continues running. He's going to pick up the touchdown on that play. So now, for the first time all game, under 2 minutes, the Denver Broncos lead. Of course, the Giants would then have a touchdown drive of their own immediately after this. However, a couple nice throws from Nix. This one, honestly, not the best coverage there by the Giants in that situation. This one was good coverage, just better throw and catch by Sutton and Nix. They end up being able to spike the ball and ultimately are able to kick the game-winning field goal and win the game. Really, really good stuff at the end of the game. Maybe not perfect stuff through 60 minutes, but you know what? It's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? And them being able to, pull off this victory was really important, I think, for them. Again, if they lost, now Kansas City's tied. This allows them to remain in sole possession of first place as of right now. And I also just think it has to do a ton for confidence to show that your offense can get the job done. And against Dallas, with how their team is constructed, the offense is going to have to keep this going if they're going to keep their win streak going. So yeah, very interesting stuff. But those are my thoughts on Bo Nix and how he played in this very bizarre game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.